Howdy y'all, I hope you had a good day. The Silver Trade here again with another video. Today we're going to talk about what Pokemon fans really think of the new GameStops, other country apes, and average share counts of the DRS apes, and a whole lot more. And some large buyers positioning themselves on GameStop. But please remember, none of this is financial advice. We are not financial advisors. This video is made for entertainment purposes only. XRT, we're down at 274% short interest. I haven't seen that since starting this channel 80 something videos ago. GameStop retweeted this guy's tweet about GameStop. He was basically walking through in awe with how many different cards and card decks they had. And this guy's got a good following. Here's his video and a few comments from his fans. Wow, is that GameStop? It's incredible watching them go through this transformation. GameStops are going to have the PS5 Pro tomorrow, and I've never seen people go as crazy about any other console, especially now with the Pro version. Roaring Kitty in a post before referenced cat pattern, and back in 2020 we had a couple of cat ears, the cat back right here, and then the cat tail. You know, because they literally stick straight up. And the cat back lasts about 3 months, maybe 110 days. And now we're in a similar situation where we've got the cat ears, the cat back, 3 months to 110 days, and now we're just waiting on the cat tail. I noticed Roaring Kitty is attempting to repeat this pattern he calls a requel. There are some similarities to the game plan and a few notable differences. Not exactly a sequel, but will have additional exciting events lined up that may alter the landscape of the timeline. Roaring Kitty has hinted at a cat pattern in one of his tweets. Here you can clearly see a cat has been formed and looks remarkably similar to the old cat from 2020 and 2021, except the present day timeline has been sped up. The difference is Roaring Kitty moved the initial massive buy order in between the first and second earnings in this sequence. The sequence consists of 5 earnings calls. Perhaps the number 5 has been hinted at many times, and like we've talked about before, it most certainly has been. He also moved the second wave of massive buys directly after the second earnings. This is different than when Ryan Cohen bought before the third earnings call and right after the fourth earnings call. The second batch was towards the end of a 110-day cycle that summoned the initial sandworm. Why this matters? My theory is that a second massive wave of share buying is required to overload the trading algos and support the already existing sandworm, so that it will eventually sneeze and go parabolic with a positive price pressure. This is a very important key because if all the buy orders are timed in synchrony with the span of a few days or weeks, it may create the conditions of late December 2020 or January 2021. That was the time when a massive amount of retail individual investors just so happened to catch the meme stock frenzy and FOMO'd in. Perhaps this is what it means to run. When the signal is given, individual investors time their buying and striking when the iron is hot. That moment may be coming up real soon, November or December. And that's actually really interesting because almost every day I've been listening to that one Roaring Kitty song, I Move, You Move Just Like That by Ludacris. Could this be what he's talking about? Is there going to be a second large buy, and then that's him move? When I move, you move. Just like that. Somebody just put in a huge sell order for 1.5 million shares of Chewy stock. This reminds me of the 4.5 million share buy order on GME. Very abrupt and potentially trying to make a statement. To note, the total value of this order is $46.5 million. And that was today on Chewy. 1.5 million shares. Edit. What's also interesting is that this sell order is almost exactly half of the GME buy order. I've been looking and looking for that GME buy order and I cannot find it. Maybe one of y'all knows what he means by this? This guy also states, I have a post I did earlier explaining why I don't think Roaring Kitty isn't done with Chewy yet. It seems like it's tied to the massive buy order on GME. Very few people with that kind of money are willing to put in an order like that. Most people would split the big order into smaller iceberg orders, which would make less noise and drop the price less. This was clearly intentional, and no institutional investor would do something this reckless, unless maybe they knew something about the company that wasn't going to be exciting for the market. And so for anybody that doesn't know, if you're curious about like 10Ks or 13Gs or really anything that anybody files with the government for stocks, check out the SEC's EDAR website. You can literally type in any stock you want and it'll show you all the reports. And we're going to start keeping a really close eye on Chewy to see if we see another one of these coming in saying that he's selling that Chewy. He actually put that in. How silly. But if you don't want to be pulling up this website every day and be checking it like I will, you could just subscribe and I'll do it for you. Open interest January 17th, 2025. Back to double down on previous information I've uploaded. Previously I mentioned that the high short interest on January 17, 2025 calls, everyone talked shit about how it didn't mean much, and lo and behold, a bunch of DD came out of the following days talking about open interest in those Jan calls. Yeah, I'm petty. You all pissed me off because you downvoted actual conversation and options talk, but whatever. Okay. I'm just here to mention data I've been watching for a few weeks now. The open interest in the $20 and $25 calls have gone up week after week, while the puts for 18 seem to have started off high and are slowly decreasing. Someone knows something is coming up and are positioning themselves slowly to not draw attention. Mentioned GameStop recently.
Hear me out. So as of a month ago, sealed VHSs are now going for like 20 to 30 grand a pop. Oh! Rocky just sold for like $27,000.
What?
Yes.
You serious?
Yeah, it's my GameStop. Like, this is my... Dude, no one believed in me. Wow!
Somebody noticed yesterday that there were 23 orders for 5,000 blocks of GameStop's shares. That's a total of 115,000 shares. Avana is a stock trading app only available in Sweden. There is 18,163 customers holding GME just in Sweden. Nordnet provides services in all Nordic countries, like Sweden, Denmark, Finland, and Norway. And they have 16,743 customers holding GME in their accounts. And please remember, none of this is financial advice. This video is made for entertainment purposes only. But now we know that there's at least about 25,000 apes in Sweden holding GME. And this is only going off of like 2 stock apps. Whenever you look at how many people are DRS'd in Sweden, there's 1,738. This is a list of all of the people in every country that have DRS'd shares of GameStop. 194,000 people are DRS'd in GME, with 141,000 of them being from America. And from that same website, he found out the average number of shares per investor is about 426 when it comes to DRS shareholders. And just in America, just the DRS shareholders, right? We have 141,000. If we were to multiply 141,000 times 426, that would give us 60 million, or about 1/7 of 420 million. But please remember, we're just having fun. And last time I'm going to say it, I promise, but please remember, none of this is financial advice and we are not financial advisors. This video is made for entertainment purposes only. Here's one of my favorite setups, and it's a setup that a lot of traders know, and it's a setup a lot of traders are going to recognize. There's a lot more that goes into trading than just one indicator, please remember. You see how the stock on AMD is pumping up pretty strong, the MACD is green and the RSI is above 50, and then the MACD flips red. But the stock continues to slowly work its way up even though the MACD is red, and the RSI never goes below 50. The second that the MACD flips back to green in the middle of the night, right here, you can see it started really having that move up, because the red of the MACD is over and we're still above 50 on the RSI. But then the day opened up and it got crushed in the market. But a lot of the time, whenever you see that red and the stock is still moving up with RSI above 50, that's a pretty bullish setup. But the overall market slapped down AMD today because technical analysis does not always work. But thank you guys so much if you made it this far. I really appreciate y'all. God bless you and have a great one.
You got a light, buddy?
Yeah, sure, kid. There you go.
And your wallet.
Nick, give him your wallet.
What for?
He's got a knife.
That's not a knife. That's a knife.